and welcome to day one of Game Day here at Rapid 2021. We're here with Howie Morotto of EWI, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on these days at EWI.
Absolutely.
So, what's new?
Thanks, John. Well, I think one of the big things that I'm pretty excited about, we're pretty excited about at EWI, is the creation of a cold spray center of excellence. So, I know traditionally there's been a big debate about whether cold spray is actually additive or not, but I think based on recent developments, the advancement of the technology, I think that it's moved more into the AM realm. And what we're really excited about is offering the first commercial facility that anyone can come to, government, academia, or in the commercial sector, and look at the variety of cold spray technologies, potentially do some work together, some projects together, test it out from your high pressure side, where you're using potentially not only a lot of pressure and a little bit of heat, but also gases like helium, so that you can really speed up the material, to the low pressure side, which is a little more common, but I don't think it's been fully explored at the commodity level. And then we're excited about the new actual additive manufacturing with cold spray, which right now working with Speed3D and their machine, really focused on building parts with cold spray and the velocity that you can create a part out of metal.
But I think it's important to kind of maybe get people to understand, and that's something I think we as an additive community have struggled a little bit with, and whether it's AM or not AM, to me that doesn't really matter. It is a technology that is important to the manufacturing community moving forward. But it's interesting because it can fit in such a variety of different application spaces.
Sure.
So you kind of mentioned the opportunities as it relates to a repair technology, or even almost a cladding technology, or part creation. There's a lot of diversity.
There's a lot of diversity, and there's also opportunities to do things cleaner. Obviously there's a big emphasis on the environment, doing things cleaner. So electroplating, right? You mentioned cladding. Cold spray gives you an opportunity to replace electroplating in a much cleaner, less expensive way. And it'll also help you salvage a lot of scrap, right? So we're talking with one company, they use cylinders for their machines. But if the cylinder, it has to be precise, if the cylinder has one small nick, they scrap the entire cylinder. And so it's very wasteful in that sense. So again, if you can use a technology that helps you repair, especially harder repairs, not your simple repairs where you just put a little bit of epoxy on there, paint it, and you're good to go, like how I do most things in my house, right? But if you need to really do something at the industrial scale, cold spray offers that. And I think when we talk about cold spray, what do we mean? For anyone out there that doesn't know what that is, essentially you take a powdered metal, or it doesn't have to be metal, it can be a ceramic, it can be a polymer, it can be a lot of different materials, and you speed it up to supersonic speeds, usually through what's called a de Laval nozzle. People can look it up online if they're interested, see some cool little online demonstrations. And then you basically project it onto a surface, and the impact causes the bond, right? So there's debate about whether it's a mechanical bond or a chemical bond. I think it's a bit of both. But the bottom line is you can put dissimilar metals and other materials together that you can't through any other process. So.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like, and I think, being familiar with the technology, realize there's a lot of opportunity, and again, like I said, it's pretty diverse on where you can enter into the market here. The last question I would have would be, what does the industrial base look like as it relates to cold spray today? I mean, where are we at as far as understanding it well enough to adoption, or is industry, ready to embrace this, do you think?
I think yes, and I think with all additive technologies, it's kind of went through that hype cycle, right? As much as I hate to use the Gartner hype cycle, it's went through it. And I think now it's coming out of the valley now. And I think you're seeing some applications in the automotive industry. You're definitely seeing it, as you have for a long time, in the aerospace industry. Now shipbuilding is becoming much more keenly aware of it. I think you'll see some in the oil and gas as well, and potentially the hydrogen future. I mean, everyone's talking about the hydrogen economy. At EWI, we're definitely looking at the hydrogen economy. But hydrogen is a very corrosive material. So, you're going to have to look at new ways, especially if you're going to use existing infrastructure, to line pipelines, for example, and we think that cold spray offers a huge opportunity in that field. And again, where we are at EWI is we want to help people trust that technology more. We think it's there. We think it's already capable of a lot of applications. Even the nuclear industry is looking at it. But I think, again, like with all forms of AM, we have to help people build the trust into the technology.
Yeah, I think this, like most AM technologies, education and awareness.
Right.
It's really what it's all ultimately about. I mean, it's something we at the Institute very much care about. We know it's something EWI works and has for really decades in advanced manufacturing processes.
Right.
You just get to the point where we can adopt them. That's what it's.
That's it, and so that's where I think American Makes and EWI have really the same goal with additive, right? Is to move the technology forward till it's widely adopted and everyone trusts it. And I think again, cold spray is the next one, right? It's the next big one that I think, as more people become familiar with it, get educated through your programs at American Makes, what we're doing at EWI, I really think it's going to blossom into a number of industries, and at least that's what we're hoping.
Yeah, we're hoping as well. Well, thanks for taking the time,
Thanks.
sir.
Thanks, JW. Appreciate it.